So I just watched Evil Dead Burn, and it was pretty fun. Evil Dead Burn was directed by Sebastian Vaniek and follows Alice after her abusive ex-husband is killed by a deadite, and he slowly tortures her by taking over his own family. So for starters, I am a massive Evil Dead fan. I think that the Evil Dead franchise is probably, well, not probably, it's easily the best horror franchise of all time. It has the most consistently good films. I would say that there's not a single bad Evil Dead film. And I'd say this film continues this trend. I definitely really enjoyed it. I had a great time at the theater this film. I think one minor issue I have with there's like 3 modern Evil Dead films is that they kind of forget that the Evil Dead franchise is pretty much a horror comedy. And I feel like the 2013 Evil Dead film and Evil Dead Rise, they get the horror right, but they don't really get the comedy right. And I feel like this film really puts an emphasis on the funny factor of Evil Dead. I thought this film was funny. There's a lot of good bits in this. Maybe it's not like as cartoonishly funny as, say, Evil Dead 2 or Army of Darkness, but I do definitely appreciate the fact that they kind of went back into the comedy elements of this film. I feel like the editing in this film could be weird sometimes. It felt a little jumbled, a little too cutty if you ask me. But although there are some like great cinematography moments and like great moments of editing, I feel like a lot of it is overshadowed by like this really cutty and almost like ADHD type editing. I thought that the performance by Malt Davey was really great. She was she was fantastic in this film, and I thought Solia Jakob, the two like lead, or I guess the 2 female lead characters in this film, I thought did great, and especially the one that ends up becoming a deadite. She gives a really fun performance, and also the dad character is a really fun character. He kind of the best way I can describe him is dollar store Bill Burr. That's exactly what he looks like to me. I'd say an issue I have is that the film is slightly too long. The film is almost 2 hours, and I feel like a good 15 to 20 minutes could have been cut out. The film just doesn't really know when to end, and it just kind of keeps on going. There's like a specific moment in the film where I was like, okay, like this feels like the climax of the film, but then the movie just kept on going, and I was like, what are we doing? I felt like they definitely could have shortened this film, and it definitely would have been better for it. But yeah, this film feels very in line with Evil Dead. Camera work is great, a lot of great funny moments. Like I said, this franchise has a great track record, if we're not counting that Lee Cronin's Mummy, which somehow is canon to this universe, I guess. But the mainline Evil Dead films being, Sam Raimi's Evil Dead to this film, all of them are great. There's not a bad one, and this film is no exception. A lot of people are saying this is the worst Evil Dead, or not necessarily the worst, but kind of the lesser, I guess. And I have to say, I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. It's nothing fantastic, but it was a very fun time in the theater, and I am giving Evil Dead Burn a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching the video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you later.
And there's not another human in view. And
Yo, this kid right here. Staying up late night just to get the tape right.